Welcome back for podcast the second half on the Klotho gene and protein. In the first half, we covered what the Klotho gene and protein were, and we talked a bit about our cellular studies. In this half, we're going to go on to the human clinical trials, talk about how our serum was made, finally talk about ongoing research, and end up with telling you how you can individually raise your Klotho level. The first clinical study that we did was a case of 10, and this came out in 2022. But before we proceed, let's go into how the Klotho face serum, eye serum, night cream, and microneedling solution is actually made. 25% of our face serum is a combination of 80% fibroblast cell conditioned medium and 20% adult mesenchymal stem cells that have been genetically altered. There's a reason we do this concentration. As you knew earlier in our other podcast, the first half, at a certain concentration, we can actually increase two other genes, age-TERT and SIRT6, which preserve the length of your telomeres and promote cellular longevity. Reviewing, we made a construct, which is an on and off switch, used a vector, which is like an arrow, and shot that construct or on and off switch into the adult mesenchymal stem cells from fat in vitro in a petri dish. We then got the cell conditioned medium, which has the Klotho protein, and second generation growth factors, which are quantitatively and qualitatively higher and better than regular cell conditioned medium. So what exactly is in the serum? Well, 25% cell conditioned medium. The fibroblast cells are sourced from neonatal foreskin. The mesenchymal cells are banked from adult fat cells. Also, we covered the fact that the Klotho protein is a very large protein, 120 to 130 Daltons. This is why we use liposomes to cloak the protein so it could get through to the target organ, which would be your skin cells or fibroblasts. This also assists second generation growth factors to get to the target organ. Finally, we use cosmetic ingredients to make it luxurious. The smell is amazing, and that comes from a citrus oil. What is not in our group? Endotoxins, any human or animal cells. We check for hepatitis B, HIV, HPV, EBV, and CMV, as well as bacteria, fungus, and mycoplasma. Before we go on to the clinical studies, everyone's heard a little bit about growth factors now, and they've heard the buzzword about PRP and exosomes. So what really is the difference? Growth factors, PRP, and exosomes are great, and they do enhance cell communication as well as stimulate cell proliferation and act as a cellular messenger. But only the Klotho protein preserves the telomeres, which is the holy grail of aging of your cell, block all oxidative stress, offer DNA protection and repair, actually reversing DNA damage, and promoting cellular longevity. We also know it activates platelet factors, and it increases nitric oxide, which is important for transmitting oxygen to the target cells. Okay, in our first study, there were 10 subjects. They were asked to apply Klotho Skin face serum twice daily, morning and night. The Klotho protein has a relatively short half-life and denatures within 2 to 4 hours. That's why you use one pump in the morning and one pump at night, first thing on your skin. No other things were changed. Patients were evaluated at baseline, week 4, 8, and 12. They had clinical evaluations and serial photography on each visit. They also filled out a cell questionnaire baseline, and then they had a Visioscan. The Visioscan is a well-known way of monitoring photo damage and texture, as well as rhytids or wrinkles, and it gives you a range out of 100. So if you enter the study and you were 40 out of 100, and you ended the study and you were 60 out of 100, you would have improved 20%. We did better than that. We had a 30% reduction in rhytids or wrinkles at 3 months. a 31% improvement in texture in just 3 months, and a 31% reduction in photo damage in just 3 months. We then did another double-blinded clinical study with Pearl Grimes in Beverly Hills. In this case, we had 20 patients, but 4 were controls. They got the goo without the cell conditioned medium, and no one knew which patient had which. In addition, we had 4 controls and we did biopsies, and that's what we're going to go over here. We thought our first results were exemplary, but we found a 36% reduction in rhytids in the Grimes study, 36.5% reduction in dyschromia, 2.5 times global improvement, 11% reduction in erythema. These histologic slides show the decrease in photo damage was 36.5, increase in collagen resulting in an improvement in texture, and again, 2.5 times global improvement, and an increase in collagen and elastin. One of our patients at baseline and after 3 months. Again, this glow you see that looks like there's a brighter light shining on her is actually the true glow. We have now started our 3rd clinical study with Steve Yolen. This is a 4-month study using the face, eye, and night cream. And the one thing that's amazing on all the patients is just the global improvement. It actually looks like they have an illumination to their skin. All right, in December, we launched our first microneedling solution known as the Klotho Complex. This is a groundbreaking alternative to PRP. It contains the Klotho protein and 2nd-generation growth factor at a concentration of 50%. This is stable, does not need to be refrigerated, and has a 2-year shelf life. It can be used with microneedling and after laser treatments. The only other ingredient, it's a very small amount of preservative, less than 0.01, is micronized HA. Micronized HA also quenches free radicals and has a 95% penetration through intact skin in under 24 hours. It also has an anti-inflammatory response equal to dexamethasone. So you will see with your patients, or if you're getting the microneedling solution, that your redness will go away more quickly. Okay. So those were our results from Klotho Skin, but let's go back to the actual Klotho protein that's an age suppressor. We know the aging population in the United States is growing. Klotho is an anti-aging protein with diverse beneficial clinical implications. Human serum levels decrease with age in healthy individuals. You can monitor the Klotho protein in your serum, blood sample, CSF, urine, and certain other tissues. And we know they decrease in all disease levels, even psychiatric disorders. In order to develop something that's going to work for an overall Klotho increase in level, we need to establish baseline levels of Klotho in the blood now. Presently, there are 2 ways to get your blood levels done. The first is through Ginfinity Lab, and the other one is through Lionheart. But we're working on a more specialized blood level, which will be consistent and will monitor as a standard of care. The ongoing research is amazing. We talked briefly about our own 3rd clinical trial with IRB approval being done by Steve Yolen in Newport Beach. This will be evaluating the face, the eye serum, and the night cream. 16 patients are enrolled in this, and it should be done this month. Klotho Therapeutics has planned, for developing a recombinant Klotho, primarily for treatment in kidney disease. Clothogenics is pursuing two strategies of regulating the endogenous or natural clotho level and delivering exogenous or external clothogenetic material. UCSF, we discussed earlier, is doing studies with the Klotho protein and have completely reversed the cognitive deficits associated with Parkinson's and Alzheimer's by giving a peripheral injection of the Klotho protein into the belly skin in the mouse model. They've also accomplished this in the rhesus monkey. Unity Biotechnology is pursuing systemic delivery of recombinant Klotho protein for cognitive enhancement. Lionheart Health has released a bioelectric suit for enhancing muscle building and controlled release of Klotho. Ginfidity is the company I mentioned earlier, and you can get your at-home Klotho baseline test for $248. We are trying to work with a company and get that price point down to $100. Triple Helix LLC is doing offshore genetic alteration that's permanent. That's why it's not allowed in the United States, but they're using an associated viral vector to permanently upregulate the Klotho gene and overproduce the Klotho protein. All right. There's other ongoing studies. Two other companies have launched or their studies are starting their studies, excuse me, with mRNA Klotho, and I think we can see that coming around in about 5 years. What about you today? Can you change your Klotho levels? We know that the Klotho level is naturally increased with intermittent fasting, stress reduction, and chronic exercise. That means exercising regularly for 3 months. Now, after cardiovascular disease, it actually increases, but after strength workouts, it actually decreases and elevates again higher than it was within the next 24 hours. What are the future possibilities with Klotho? Imagine a world where humans can live longer, but more importantly, age-related diseases are delayed, so they're living better. Klotho and age-suppressing genes have the potential to change the way we age and the way we live. Ways to get this, other than treating with intermittent fasting, exercise, and decreasing your stress, is getting exogenous Klotho protein. We are presently working on this. An mRNA Klotho is basically very similar to COVID vaccine, where it comes in, hooks on your cell. It doesn't permanently change your genome, but it does get your cell to produce something like the Klotho protein for a short while. And two companies are working on this presently. And finally, gene therapy, which is offshore only. If you find this interesting and would like to do future reading, I suggest you read The Anti-Aging Property of Klotho, Unlocking the Secrets to Health and Longevity by Dr. Joe Cleaver. We always have to end with a joke. And in many ways, we're all looking for this, not just to look younger, but to feel younger. And I think the Klotho protein has a big role to play in that. Thank you very much. Find more on www.klothoskin.com. Klotho Skin has won multiple awards. First one we received was Best Innovation in Skincare, and that was for NEU Magazine, North America Business Award for Most Innovative Skincare Brand, and finally, Lux Life Magazine Health, Beauty, and Wellness Award. So what if your skin didn't have to age like everyone else's? Klotho face serum, eye serum, night cream, and if you're a professional, microneedling solution. Be ready to experience the Klotho difference. Find us at klothoskin.com. Transform your skin with the power of gene science and regenerative skincare. We've harnessed cutting-edge technology to bring you personalized skin care solutions that will rejuvenate and restore your skin's natural beauty. Don't wait. Call us today at 415-400-5447 or visit our website at klothoskin.com. Start your journey to more radiant skin.